creatures. Tonight, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about the New Japan G1 Climax 35, Night 7. First things first, I do want to say thank you for everyone who's been watching any videos on my channel. It really just warmed my dark heart. I feel really grateful to have people watching, my videos or commenting, whatever you guys are doing. I do appreciate it. It just really makes me feel great to be able to spread the gospel, like I always say, of pro wrestling. It's my favorite thing in the world, and I just absolutely enjoy speaking about wrestling. And with that being said, I always get the comment, are you tired of pro wrestling, or do you ever get tired of watching wrestling? And the honest answer is no, I actually do not. There are times where I do feel like what I'm watching may not be as enjoyable as other shows, and maybe I'll just be a little bit bored, but I never truly get tired of watching wrestling, take breaks and things like that. Like, I really don't feel like that. What I feel for pro wrestling is just something that I can't say about anything else in my life, and I just absolutely adore it. And I don't really feel like I can ever truly say there's too much wrestling. I hear it a lot, and especially nowadays, when people say there's just too much wrestling. And I'm just like, there's not enough time in a day to watch everything. I need more hours in a day so I can watch everything that I want to see. So it's really interesting. And that also piggybacks into what I think about this show as well. This was a filler episode in terms of you have a tournament going on, and unlike other tournaments that are more on the weekly basis, this is every few days that you're seeing the same people competing in a round robin type of situation. So not even elimination, like you're seeing the same people going over and over for points, and then you're seeing the tag situations as well. Certain episodes are going to feel like fillers, where it's just like, well, we have to do these matches and we just got to sit through them. You're going to feel like, okay, this show is not that great, but this show has to happen in order for me to see the certain matches that I do want to see. And it's just going to be like that throughout the competition. Overall, the tournament itself, I think, has been really great. But this night in particular, I do feel like, I would say skippable. There was some good stuff here, but like, it doesn't compare too much to some of the things that we've seen so far in the other nights. However, decent show. And I would recommend that if you are like in the West like me, you don't have to stay up to watch it. If you feel like some of these episodes will be filler, you could just wait until it's over. When you wake up, go ahead and watch and skip whatever you feel like skipping. I don't skip personally, but these shows can be very time consuming. And if you don't want to watch the whole thing, just wait until it's not airing live. So let's talk about the tag matches before we get into the Block A matches. So for the tag matches, we did have the Great Okan teaming up with Jacob Austin Young to go against Jado and El Fantasmo. This match was just okay. To be honest with you, all the tag matches were just okay, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard to stay awake watching these matches. And to be honest with you, by the last tag match, I fell asleep and didn't even get a chance to watch the tournament matches because I was bored. I'm sorry, you guys, just bored. For me, I was kind of hoping to see United Empire take the win, because honestly, I'm actually kind of like, I would have loved to see Jacob in the tournament. He's been killing it in the tag matches, and I've been liking, he's taken several wins for United Empire in these tag matches, but fell short in night 7. So Jado and El Fantasmo end up taking the win. Now, for our second match, we have Daiki Nagai teaming up with Shingo Takagi to go against Shota Umino and Kazuya Murashima. And for me, it was neither here or there. To be honest with you, it didn't really matter to me who to take the win. Shota's team ended up taking the win, which is whatever to me. Match 3, we had, obviously, House of Torture making their debut of the night. And shenanigans as usual. So we had Ren Narita teaming up with Yoshinobu Kanemaru, which we will not be seeing the last of tonight, to go against Drilla Maloney and Taji Ishimori. War Dogs end up taking the win. And I kind of wish we would, I know like the tournament itself has been a huge focus on the shenanigans of House of Torture, but I feel like I haven't seen barely anything in terms of any other factions getting into things as well. Like, you know, United Empire, we're seeing them, but nothing that's truly going to stick. Like, I think, like, after the tournament, people are still going to be talking about the House of Torture and their shenanigans, but we're not seeing too much of TMDK, getting into any stories. Who else we're not seeing? The War Dogs really not doing anything right now. I mean, Gabe is injured, but like we have other members and no one's actually doing anything as a faction that's like sticking out other than House of Torture. So this could have been an opportunity for them to do that, but it wasn't. And we end up having War Dogs with the win. Now we have our fourth tag match. We have Hartley Jackson teaming up with the GOAT, my fave, is Zack Sabre Jr., to go against Rocky Romero and Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita and Rocky, they've been doing great as a team. I really like them together. And Rocky keeps saying he's taking the #1 spot of Block C, which is the tag team matches that they've been having for the tournaments and whatnot. And they're looking for a W. Now, this is very interesting because it's one of those situations where everyone is just like, with the tag matches, you're supposed to be seeing a little bit of a teaser of what's going to happen on the next block matches. So that would mean that we'll get Takeshita to go against Zack Sabre Jr. So seeing these two guys in the ring, you know, one-on-one, just even for a moment, you know, gets you really, really hyped up for night 8, which is the main event, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Takeshita. And they've never had a one-on-one match from my recollection. And I'm like 99% sure that they never had a one-on-one match. So that's going to be really interesting to see like how they do. Now, we had a little bit more of a focus of Hartley Jackson and Rocky Romero. And while Hartley was taking care of Rocky Romero, and you can see just as Hartley is pinning Rocky, you can see in the background that some commotion is going on outside the ring. I was like, well, what's going on over there? I cannot tell what's happening. And that's when you see, like right after the bell rings, you see that Zack Sabre Jr. is stretching the hell out of Takeshita out there by the barricade. The young lions and everybody trying to keep them away from each other. And I was like, oh, okay, night 8 is starting early. I'm cool with it. And after they get them away from each other, Takeshita's literally, I don't want to say laid out, but kind of just laying there trying to catch a breather outside the ring. Zack comes in front of him and sits on the barricade, and he's taking his tape off or whatever, and then he puts the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on his lap, just showing him like, bitch, this is me. I'm the champion, okay? It's got to be me you're going to have to be if you're going to want to win at Wrestle Kingdom. Well, not even Wrestle Kingdom. If you want to win this whole damn tournament anyway. And Takeshita just looks at him. I don't want to say he looks worried, but he just looks a little off his game and not as confident as we've been seeing him throughout the entire tournament so far. And Zack gets down and take the tape that he just rolled off his wrist and just kind of like slaps it onto Takeshita's forehead and walks away. And Takeshia's just looking at him with the fucking tape on his forehead. I don't know why that was funny, but that was the last thing I saw before I fell asleep. Let's talk about the rest of the show. All right, so on to the results of Block A. We started off with Yota Tsuji going against Boltin Oleg. I like both of these guys. And for me, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling Boltin a little bit more as of late. He's really impressed me these past few months. So I would have been cool, seeing him win this match. I thought that this match was on track to being the best match. Well, now that I look at it, after watching the entire show, this match had the potential of being the best match of the night, and something within that last minute and a half just went wrong, where it just seems like the communication was really off between the two of them, and timing and everything just wasn't really working. And even with that very last move, like I don't know about everyone else, like when it comes to pro wrestling, I mean, I feel like everything that's done in the ring is important, but I do feel like that last minute or so, that ending of a match is so important. It has to make an impact. And like I said, it was on track to being the best match. And then that last minute, a lot of miscommunication with everybody. And I don't know what the fuck happened. Even the Gene Blaster just didn't even look right to me, where it was just like, I would have told him to get back up and let me do it again, but obviously you can't do that. But there's no way to redeem yourself at that point. You've already hit your finisher, and with something like a spear, like, what can you do? There's nothing else you can do at that point to kind of redeem yourself. And Bolton just had to lay there and take the pin. It was what it was. And I was kind of disappointed. I was like, you know what, it happens. Like, I'm not the one to just be throwing out, oh, they're botching, ha 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 ha. These people are doing things that majority of us can't do, and sometimes it's just not perfect. But it was going to be damn near perfect between the two of them if there wasn't, that unfortunate miscommunication at the end where everything was pretty sloppy. 8 points for Yota Tsuji. He's the only one with 8 points so far in Block A. Now we do have our next match. Now after this, we have Cullum Newman going against David Finley. Every night, David's entrance is getting longer. So you can't fast forward that. You just got to wait till he's ready to get in there and get undressed and everything. And, they kind of start off with just beating the hell up out of each other, getting into the crowd. And I'm noticing that more and more each night, that it seems like more and more matches where everybody's just like, fuck it, we don't need to just be in the ring. Let's just go in the crowd and beat the hell up out of each other and give the fans a little bit more of a personal show. So we get that with them for a little bit before they get back into the ring. For me, I didn't really care too much for this. I was just like, all right, well, David probably will end up taking the win. Cullum, I haven't necessarily connected with in this tournament, so it was what it was. But David Finley ends up hitting a beautiful buckle bomb onto Cullum and goes to pin him. But Cullum Newman rolls this bitch up in a roll-up for the win. I was really surprised by how, should I be surprised by rollouts nowadays? No, because everybody's doing them. But something about it where it's just like that buckle bomb should have had him laid out and David could have just pinned him for the win. So I honestly did not see him countering out of that to roll him up. And David was so shocked. He ended up snatching the referee, literally about to kill him. But if it wasn't for the young lions and everybody was like, no, leave the ref alone. He's just got a family at home. Don't bother him. He ends up taking his frustrations out on the young lions outside the ring, and rightfully so. That's what they're there for. Now on to our next match. Now after Cullum gets his 4 little points, we do have Taichi going against Sonata. Sonata comes out with his like hot boy summer outfit. It's all white, but he have like little yellow things on it. Something, I don't know what it was. It looked like something your grandmother might have knitted for you. I don't know what it was, but it's not for me. It's one of those outfits you don't want to get sunburned in because you're going to have patterns all over your body. It's horrible, but Sonata's doing his little fashion thing, and who are we to judge? Taichi comes out. And Taichi obviously singing his song, and he makes his way into the ring, and he stops performing so he can get his hands out on Sonata. Like, you know what, y'all been messing up my performances every time I'm coming out. I'm just gonna stop so I can get my hands on you. They are fighting through the crowd again, and this was to kind of go back off of what happened in night 6, where House of Torture was beating up Taichi in the crowd and kept throwing him over onto the Japanese commentator. But this time, the Japanese commentators were ready. They was just like, hey, no matter what happens, we gonna get our hands on y'all. So the commentator even snatches up Kanemaru, who's out there being annoying as usual, again, interfering into the match, and throwing him onto Sonata into the crowd. And the crowd went wild. They love this type of shit. And it was pretty interesting to kind of see them getting what they deserve in that moment. But was it enough? Was it enough? Not really. When we get back into the ring, more cheating is going on. And for the first time, the young lions are literally just like, fuck it, and getting into the ring to help Taichi because they're so fucking tired of the whole thing happening with the House of Torture, and they're getting involved. Now, should they be doing that? No. But should House of Torture be doing what they've been doing since fucking night 1? No. But hey, the company don't give a fuck, so why not? The Young Lions try their best to help Taichi to just even things up because Kanemaru's been out there being a pain in the ass, and it's not enough. And we end up getting Sonata taking the win. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, am I mad? No. It's like, we're night 7. It's been happening every night, so we should be used to it. But at this point, with what they're doing with House of Torture, it's kind of like Sonata, Evil, one of y'all better take the win, because all this have to be for something. So Sonata gets his 4 points, and we have Evil going against Yuya Uemura. Once again, House of Torture are interfering, and I know, like, it's y'all probably tired of hearing me saying the same shit. It's literally that. It's literally just House of Torture whenever it's their people sticking together. And this is the reason why I was saying earlier, like, I don't know why we're not seeing more of the other factions sticking with each other during their matches, not to interfere, but to just be out there as support or whatever, to make sure that these things don't happen, because the Young Lions can't do anything at this point. And I just don't know why we're not seeing a little bit more of that throughout the competition. So House of Torture is really making sure that no matter what, that Evil get his little points. And then we have interference to the point that Ref took a bump and he's knocked out. Let me tell you, Red Shoes, he's a legend, but a horrible actor. So a lot of referees, like, they can't sell that, oh, I just got hurt, I'm supposed to be dead or whatever for a couple of minutes. Like, it's something about it where it's just like they're waiting for their cue or something, and it just looks absolutely horrible. So he didn't convince anyone that he was hurt in any way, shape, or form. But Yuya still ends up taking the win with a deadbolt suplex. Honestly, I don't really find that to be a finisher, but it was enough, because I'm looking at Evil. Evil's a huge dude, and to give a guy who's not just a bigger but taller, any type of variation of a suplex to win kind of feels basic to me. I'm sorry, I just feel basic for the win. And based off everything that's been happening, I just felt like I didn't think that was a good finisher for Evil. And I always say this in my reviews, that I do feel like, depending on your opponent, you can't just keep using your same type of finishers. You should be having different finishers to use on certain people, so people can actually believe that a finisher that you're using on your opponent will actually put their asses away. Now let's talk about the main event. All right, for our main event, it was President Tanahashi going against Ryohei Oiwa. And it was okay. It was okay. This was actually their first one-on-one matchup. So I wasn't really sure what to expect, because they haven't had a match one-on-one. The crowd were feeling it. And to me, I kind of was a little bored. I'm not going to lie. I was bored. So it didn't really matter what would have happened for me. Personally, like I said before, that despite this being Tanahashi's last G1, I don't really want to see him winning. And this was an opportunity for Tanahashi to look at a young guy like Ryohei and just be like, hey, you know, you should take this win, because you're the future of this company. And rightfully so. Tanahashi takes that little L with a lariat. A lariat. Okay. I guess that's a finisher. Lovely. I wasn't expecting that. So that right there kind of put some points down for the match for me. But Ryohei won, and I think that's the right person to win. Ryohei gets on the mic after that and basically tells Tanahashi, you know, this is our first time going against each other, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. And, you know, since you are retiring at Wrestle Kingdom next year, I'm hoping that maybe if you want to, that the two of us can have another match with each other, and I'll be ready for you again. And I was like, oh, okay, you just letting him know that you're willing to whoop his ass again before he has to put the boots away. That's really lovely. And that was pretty much it. When he gets out the ring, though, when I tell you, everybody in that building got out. I'm talking about Ryohei Oiwa here, not President Tanahashi. Ryohei get out the ring, and everybody gets off their seat and runs to the barricade to touch him and take pictures. I've actually have not seen that this entire tournament. There has been times where people get out the ring and they, you know, they go close to take pictures or, you know, shake their hands, bring their towels over or whatever. But I've never seen it like this, where everybody got their ass up to just touch Ryohei. And I was just like, oh my God. I've never seen that. It was pretty impressive, to tell you the truth. And this is why I said, like, this is why he should have won over President Tanahashi. We need to be focusing on these younger stars who are supposed to be, you know, taking taking those top spots in the business, and Rohei definitely being one of those guys. So I'm looking forward to see what happens. Night 8, main event, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Takeshita. Everybody's excited about it. That's what we want. So that's going to be on July 30th, and it's going to be a slobber knocker. I know it. I am so excited. So where are we with the points? I did write it down. Give me a second. All right, so real quick, where are we with the points? So for Block A, with 8 points, we have Yota Tsuji. And with 6 points, we have Yuya Yamura, Bolton Oleg, Rohei Owa, and Evil with 6 points. And with 4 points, we have Sonata, Taichi, Tanahashi, and Cullum Newman. And with 2 points, we have David Finlay. Now for Block B, we have 8 points with both Ren Narita and Yoshihashi. And then for 6 points, we had Takeshita, Drilla Maloney, Shota Umino, Great Okan with 6 points. 4 points, we have Zack, El Phantasmo, and Shingo Takagi. No, Shingo Takagi has 2 points. My bad, 2 points. And then with 0, obviously Gabe Kidd, since he is out of the competition. It's been really interesting so far. I do recommend watching it if you can, or if you want to just hear me talk about it, that's cool too. But definitely for night 8, like everybody's ready for Zack Sabre Jr. and Takeshita. It's definitely going to be worth the watch. Like, I am looking forward to what may be the best match in the whole entire tournament. So we'll see how that works out. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back with night 8 of the G1 Climax 35. See you guys then.